Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Anthony Joshua is promising to strip Jarrell Miller of his soul when they meet in the ring on June 1st in New York. That was one of the better quotes from the London press conference to promote that fight. It was the second of two events that has been held. They won't see each other again now until fight week. And this event, it was quite interesting because it really was a sort of horses for courses sort of press conference. And what I mean by that is they know their market. In the US, when they had that first one, there was some bitterness, some acrimony. The language, it was a bit more crass. It was more of a spectacle. There was pushing and shoving. It was really a bit more over the top and a bit more sort of, you know, maybe tailored towards the American market. They had to make some inroads, you know, have a bit of the wow factor there, something to get it on the news, get it in the minds of people that potentially will come and watch this fight or actually see it on the streaming service DAZN in the United States. In the UK though, Anthony Joshua, a huge star, he's probably not going to have to work too hard to still get a decent amount of pay-per-view buys. You know, he already has the market saturated in the United Kingdom. There were a lot of eyeballs going to be on this press conference regardless, whereas with the United States, with Joshua and Miller's respective fan bases in the United States not being so huge, you know, who knows how many people were really tuned into that. But I'm sure with some of the antics from that first event, people would have been watching. But it was a very different Jarrell Miller in the second press conference. He was more subdued, he was more respectful. He didn't seem to go over the line as he was repeatedly trying to do in that first event. And who knows, maybe Jarrell Miller figured he didn't need to work as hard for the second press conference and really turn on the trash talk, turn up the general chat, because he was a very different guy if you compare the two in this press conference. But let's have a look at a couple of highlights here. First, starting with Anthony Joshua, then on to Jarrell Miller, and then I'll be back with you with their face-off.
I still got 10 years left. I know Rob wants me to cut that short, but nah. This is all I know. This is all I do. As I said, I don't know no football, no rugby, no NFL, no basketball, no kickboxing. I know how to knock people out and beat them up. And all that spirit that this boy's got over there talking shit, I'm going to strip it from him. Every ounce of spirit he's got, that's what I do to people. I'm going to strip him of his soul in that ring. He talked about 7 rounds. I'll still be in there fighting strong. And if he's still in there, look at his face. I'm gonna reconstruct his face on June 1st, and I'm really looking forward to the challenge.
For all the underdogs out there that you know, people telling them they're not good enough or they're too fat or whatever the discreet that people want to discriminate against you, don't listen to them. Just keep pushing, man, because I'm a proven factor that with hard work, dedication, 1 or 2 cheeseburgers and a cup of tea, you can go real far. And you know, let's go to work. June 1st, there's gonna be fireworks, and it will be that saying I love so much. And you got that smirk on your face, man. And the new.
So there you have it, some comments from Jarrell Miller and Anthony Joshua from the second of 2 press conferences, first in the United States, the second in London. And certainly I actually did like, you know, Miller and Joshua not going at it so much, because if it had been 2 in a row, it probably would have felt a bit forced. And sometimes Jarrell Miller's trash talk can be a bit repetitive, and it kind of ends up being the same old sort of thing, and it just ends up looking like it was the sort of big oath routine. So from that perspective, I actually enjoyed the second press conference a bit more. Not that I actually learnt a whole heap, because effectively a lot of canned statements, a lot of nothing in what they were saying. But there is an edge about Anthony Joshua. He really doesn't like Jarrell Miller. And from some of the stuff that he's saying, you know, he really wants to put a beating on Jarrell Miller. And a number of fans are up for that, because Miller has been saying a number of things that have been getting under the skin of some Joshua fans and other fans more broadly, because this is sort of what he does. This is part of his game. The trash is really through the roof at times. And the talk of, you know, Anthony Joshua's mother and other bits and pieces, sometimes he doesn't know where the line is, or if he does, he deliberately goes through it because he wants to cause that controversy. But Miller, he is the huge underdog in this fight. And you may have seen, actually, the gloves are off. That has been recorded while Miller was in the United Kingdom. They did it after the press conference, and a clip has emerged, so you can go and see that on the Matchroom social media pages, where Miller is effectively saying to Joshua, you know, look, you're boring, you're nothing, you're just, you know, trying to play a character, play a role. And Joshua, very adamant, look, you know, I'm I'm not pretending, I'm not doing anything. If anything, you're the one that's doing that. There's a bit of that sort of narrative on the back and forth. And a couple of photos here, you know, pointing from Joshua and also Miller as well. And actually this one from the press conference, certainly Jarrell Miller doesn't really look that enthused to be there. He looks bored out of his wits. Certainly was a bit more sedate, but it wasn't quite that boring. But it was a different sort of event, and we won't see these guys for the next couple of months, you know, face to face. But I'm sure there is going to be a number of things that are said in the coming days, weeks, and months, because it's going to be quite a long build-up. It's 3 months away. That this thing is going to keep bubbling on, and they will need to keep it stoking the fires every now and then to keep us talking about it on a regular basis, you know, keep it topical in our minds, because they're going to have to try sell this thing through the roof in the United States to really try build Anthony Joshua and Jarrell Miller's profiles to get people in the United States a bit more jazzed about this fight. If you're in the United States, let me know what is the general sort of feeling about this fight at the moment. And I'm talking about genuine reactions here, not just biased fanboy opinions. So if you can throw something in there objective for the rest of the crowd to, you know, in the comment section to wade in on, just, you know, let us know what is the general vibe about this. And there's no need to mention Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury. I'm talking specifically of this. Is there any buzz there? Are people talking about this fight in New York? What is the general feeling and flavor? What are people saying? Interested to hear your thoughts on that. Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.